Welcome in, everybody. So, this is the last of our spoopy season games. We've been playing all kinds of horror themed games and scary games all the way through the month of October, and this being the final stream in October. We're ending it out with a game called Witchcraft. Now, Witchcraft is a really cool game with a somewhat solemn theme to it, which I respect a lot. So this is I'll move it over here so you can see it. This is the box cover, very festive looking, very action oriented, properly spoopy, right? Love it. But one of the things that I really appreciate about this game, and I recently just got back from a trip to the eastern coast of the United States. And if you're familiar with United States history, there is a lot of origin story history on the eastern side of this country, because that's where this country grew out of, is the eastern side. We grew steadily west. While I was on that trip, we stopped off to see a memorial, a rather solemn memorial to the victims of the Salem witch trials, which is probably the most famous witch trial in our country's history, at least, if not possibly the world, just because of how well it's been, sadly, how well it's been marketed over the years. So, but when we stopped off, if you go to Salem, there's especially during this time of the year, there's always a lot of pomp and circumstance, let's just say, because I think the town is just kind of trying to embrace it. But what we chose to do instead was visit the actual scientifically located site where the actual punishments were doled out, and the town has erected a rather solemn kind of side of the road memorial to that event at that location, and it's definitely palpable when you visit. You can feel it. So this game is about persecution. This game is about what happens when a town gets together and freaks out and goes after people unjustly. Now, of course, this is a game. It is not meant to be reality. It is not meant to be based on the Salem witch trial. And in fact, the designers of this game go to great lengths in this rather well written, and I'm going to read it because I think it's fantastic, historical note in the front of the book. And it says, Witchcraft is set in a fantasy world that was inspired by 17th and 18th century Europe and North America. Wildgrens, which is the town we're located in, is not a real location, and players will recognize the villains and minions from the folklore of many different cultures. We took the liberty of bringing these together in a single place. In many cases, the villains have different names in different cultures, and we chose this collection of villains to capture the historic fears of that time period. Fear of the unknown, fear of privation, and fear of illness. Our game world presents witches as forces of good that wield real magic. In reality, the witch trials that swept Europe and North America were motivated by malice and ignorance, resulting in execution of tens of thousands of people, the vast majority of whom were women. In showcasing powerful women striving to protect their village, we as game designers hope to honor the memory of those who were persecuted. We do not intend to trivialize or rationalize the immense pain and suffering caused by the witch hunts in early modern European and Northern American history. Fantastic. In reality, at least in North America, the witch trials, if you really look and study it hard, were primarily used by those in power to strip property from those who had no power. Most commonly, these were widows of men who actually bequeathed their property and their homesteads to their spouses. So when these men died, their spouses inherited their property, and because of the rules and the laws governing that time period, they had no real rights. They had no ability to really fight back against people who would try to use or abuse the law to steal that property from them after their spouses had passed. And so in so doing, they abused the law, they abused religion, to cast them out of society, to brand them as witches, and then murder them. And then once they were gone, the laws, of course, said, hey, if you are the aggrieved party, guess what? You get the aggressor's property. Therefore, transference of property through aggression and abuse of the law, persecution. Terrible. So in this game, what we are attempting to do is right that wrong in some way, right? In reality, these people were just trying to protect their home and their people as much as they possibly could. So if we look at this game, we can see that for this game, and by the way, mechanically, the way when we set up the game, you pick the judges up here. These are the people that are actually judging us as the witch coven in this town, and these are one of several in the deck of possible judges, and you just shuffle them randomly, select 3 of them, and you build the rest of the table out based on that. So, for example, we have Hackett, Martha, and Ichabod. These are just 3 that I drew randomly. I have no idea, never played Witchcraft before. So these are the 3 people that are going to be in the position to judge us in this town. From that, you draw a set of scenarios, essentially, that have Act 1 and Act 2 and Act 3. So these get steadily worse, I think, as the game wears on. For each character, each judge, there are 3 scenarios. So that we start out on Act 1 of each of those scenarios. So therefore, when you play the game and you get a different set of judges, you're going to get a different whole set of scenarios. And then likewise, down here, these cards, which I'll reveal as we play, are seeded with cards that are tied to these scenarios. And they're actually seeded, these cards are seeded across all 3 different kinds of scenarios. So this is kind of a blend. These cards in here are a blend of all 3 of these scenarios. So again, there are some common cards in here, but they're seeded with cards that relate to these scenarios, which are in turn tied to these judges. So every time you play, 3 different blends of judges means everything else you're about to see in the game, practically, except for the covens, the people in your coven especially, will be different. And in fact, as I mentioned about the coven, there's a deck to my left over here, which you can't really see, unimportant, because I don't think it matters in terms of gameplay, so I kept it clear on the screen. But this deck, you get the chance to, when you're setting up the game, select the cards. You do a bit of a draft, and you get to select the cards that end up on the starting deck, and then there's the rest of them end up in a separate deck that I think you end up being able to pull from. But this deck is kind of this deck to my left is kind of the deck that you've kind of hand honed down from the list of options that are presented to you. So you get a chance to kind of pick and choose, but these cards are not seeded by the scenarios. So what are we really trying to do? We're trying to complete these scenarios without failing, if we can. The more that we succeed in doing these things, the better odds we will have at persuading the judges that we are of no harm to the village. And we will lose fewer witches from our coven to persecution. I believe the game calls it casting them out. And I believe that's just to kind of, you know what I mean, keep it as not try to dwell too much on the punishment aspect of it and just play the game. But when we play the game, we're going to be playing witches from our hand. We're going to be choosing the mission, not scenario, choosing the mission we want to play against. And then we play out the remainder of our witches. We resolve missions if we can. Then we go to trial, ? Depending on how we did, I think. And then we recover and go again. Now, how do we win the game? Well, Let me just find that section just to make sure I covered it correctly. All right. If we fail 2 missions out of the 3, the game ends. If the total number of villagers on the cards in the Lost Souls pile is 5 or greater, in other words, if we have too many people cast out of our coven, then we lose 5 or greater. If you are told to gain a curse, but the curse pile is empty, the curse pile has 3 cards in it. No, that's not true. No. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, there is 3 curse cards left over in the deck. There is this draw deck over here on the right that has some curse cards seeded into it. I think there's a total of 5. 2 are seeded into the deck at the beginning, and then the 3 remaining is kind of the curse deck. So I can gain an additional curses throughout the game, and if I'm told to gain one and I can't because I've already gained all of them, then I lose. If I draw a new hand of card with no witches during phase 6, so if I'm always drawing up at the end of the round, I'm supposed to be getting witches into my hand to be able to play. But if my hand is so polluted with other cards that it does not contain a witch, then I can't play and I lose. A card effect tells you that you have lost. Okay, so in other words, let's say for the sake of argument, we get to I think it's Act 3 of a mission, and if we fail, then we lose, right? So there's some of that. So if you go through all of those steps and you haven't met any of those conditions, then the game ends in a trial. This happens if you choose to go to a trial in phase 5, or a card effect tells you to go to a trial. To resolve the trial, consider each juror in the display one at a time, all 3 of these folks. Uncover all conviction cards on the juror. Conviction cards are these eye cards on the top here. Uncover all conviction cards on the juror and total the values. There's numbers on them. Then compare that total with the value indicated by the position of the persuasion marker on the juror's track. In my case, we start at persuasion 2 because that is easy mode, and this game is known to be quite hard. So rather than play it normal, I'm starting on easy and then seeing if I can even manage to eke out a victory on easy. I don't believe I will, and that's okay. It's my first play, so I'm not too worried about that. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm giving myself the best chance. If the juror's conviction is less than or equal to the persuasion, you have succeeded in convincing them. Right. So, yeah, okay, I get it. Okay. If the juror's conviction is greater than the persuasion, you have failed to convince them. And then, let's see. If we only convinced 1 juror, then we lose minorly. If we convince 2 jurors, but not 3, we get a not guilty, but it's kind of a draw. And if we manage to convince all 3 of them, then we're innocent and we win. And of course, if we convince none, then it's a major loss and evil reigns. Yeah. So, right. So at the end of every round, when it says go to trial, we decide. The question mark is we decide if we want to continue taking on missions or end the game and go to trial. So our job is to do things for the betterment of our town such that we persuade the judges and to the point that we are not a threat. In fact, we are a benefit and asset to the town. And if we rack up enough persuasion, if we do enough for each of the judges, that their opinion of us raises to the degree that offsets their suspicion of us or their malice towards us, then we have persuaded them at the end of the game. We have convinced them. Right. If you overcame the chosen mission this round, draw the top card of the mission deck and place it face up in the gap left in the display. Okay. Got it. Cool. All right. Just checking I'm not missing anything. Hello, everybody who's joining us. All right, so let's make sure that we're good to go. Yeah, I think we are. There's a little FAQ at the end. I do love a good FAQ. That'll be nice. Maybe we can resolve some of these things. All right, so let's play around here. and see how it goes. First and foremost, though, I should show this handy dandy little player aid. So this is the player aid we start with. Did it work? Did it work? Can't tell. Why did that not work? How strange. One moment. That should have worked. Done. No, it didn't work because I'm not smart. There we go. That's the player aid. Okay, so there's player aid. You get an idea of kind of where we got. It's really nice, you know, very straight to the point. Just has a little fancy art on the back. That's player aid. Play witches, choose mission, play remaining witches, resolve missions, go to trial, and recover. So I just wanted to kind of show that off a little bit, and I'll start using that a little bit also to zoom in on certain cards as we get them, just so you can get a feel for how things look. All right, let's see how we get on here. So when we start the game, we take a hand of, I believe it is, 5 cards. Draw an initial hand of 5 cards from your coven deck. Yeah, okay. So, oh, goody, I get a curse right off the bat. In fact, I'm going to go here. We'll draw them up here. So that's our first curse card. I don't know what that means, but there's that. We're going to get Jocelyn Hayes as well. We're going to get Catherine Kent. We're going to get Amelia Stevens. And then, let's see, there's 4. And there's 5. Charlotte Kent. Now, let's use Charlotte Kent for an example here. You'll notice that Charlotte Kent, there's on every one of these coven cards, there's kind of 2 sides. There is a hidden side and a revealed side. So when we play a witch card from our hand towards against one of these missions that we're trying to successfully complete, we're going to be deciding whether or not we want to play her on her hidden self or as her revealed self. Usually the revealed self is more powerful, but the trade-off is she's no longer hiding her true identity as a witch, as a member of the coven from the town. We've essentially said in order to get this thing done, we have no choice but to expose you as a witch. So obviously, we want to only reserve that when we absolutely must, because we don't want too many lost souls. And I don't think playing somebody as their revealed side is an immediate death sentence or casting out sentence, but it is really difficult, essentially. We'll get there as we get there, but we'll see what happens. We'll both learn a little bit about what happens when we play somebody as their revealed self. On the other hand, there is an ability that oftentimes that is a little bit different if you play them in their hidden form. In other words, they're just a woman in the town, not admitting or not being obvious about their witchy powers. So those are the decisions we're going to be making throughout the game. Do I play Charlotte as hidden or revealed, and make a decision from there? So, playing witches. There are 2 opportunities to play witches from your hand each round. During Phase 1 and Phase 3, you must play all of these cards, including any additional cards drawn from special actions or effects. You may not choose to discard witches or keep them in your hand for future rounds. You may never play the curses from your hand. Great! So I basically now have a hand size of 4, I think, unless I discard them. So, yeah, okay. The curses are there to muddy up your deck. Got it. When you play a witch, you must choose to reveal them or keep them hidden. Witches are more powerful when revealed, but must be placed in jail at the end of the round. Witches which are hidden remain in your coven to use in future rounds. To record your choice, place revealed witches to the right of your play area and hidden witches to the left of your play area. Okay, I can do that. Let's see. After making this choice, you may perform the action indicated on the appropriate side of the card. You are never required to perform this action. If the action has a requirement, you must meet it. If the action allows you to perform an effect multiple times, you can choose to do it less than the number specified. Assuming you have 2 Kent witches in play. Now, this is the example. I got it. You may discard. Okay, well, I happen to have 2 Kent witches in my hand, so that actually works out well for this example. If we look at Catherine, who I also have, so let's pull Catherine up. This is the example in the book, but I'm just going to use it. Why not? Let's use the example since we happen to have the card in our hand. So there's Catherine. And it says, for each Kent, including Catherine, in play, discard 1 curse from your hand to the Coven discard pile. Then draw a card from the Coven deck to replace it. Oh, well, isn't that lovely? Why wouldn't I do that right now? I have a chance to rid myself of that for the time being. Okay, well, that's a thought. But we're not doing that doesn't actually work towards the mission at all, but it does give us some more options and it does replace the card. So that's cool. Coven discard pile. Oh, right there. Okay. Just want to make sure I did this right. So the curse never really leaves your rotation, doesn't leave the deck, but it does leave your hand for the moment. Okay, assuming you have 2 Kent witches in play, you may discard only 1 curse and draw 1 replacement. You may not draw more replacement cards than the number of curses you discarded. Yeah, of course. For each Kent, including Catherine, in play, discard 1 curse. Got it. In play. That means not in my hand, but in play. Yeah. Okay. And additional details can be found in fact. Got it. Okay. All right. So let's play. What's Charlotte do? Draw 3 cards from the Coven deck, take all curses in your hand, and place any remaining cards back on top of the Coven deck. Oh, take all curses into your hand and place any remaining cards back on the top. Interesting. All right, let's try this. We're gonna play Charlotte's hidden side first, and then follow that up with Catherine's hidden side next. And what that's going to do, I hope, is find some curses and then give us a chance to discard them. But what I'm interested in here is what it says in the rule book, because it says the description on the card says, for each Kent, including Catherine in play, discard 1 curse from your hand to the Coven discard pile. But then it says, further down in the example, assuming you have 2 Kent witches in play, you may discard only 1 curse and draw 1 replacement card. But that doesn't mean what it says. What it says is for each Kent in play. So if I have 2 in play, maybe when I play the card, it's what it means to say is for each other Kent in play. No, because it says including Catherine, so that doesn't make any sense either. What a weird example, because it doesn't actually. Yeah, that's weird. But what I will mean by that is you have to have a minimum of 2 witches in play before you can start doing it. Maybe. I don't know. What in most of these kinds of games, when it says what it says on the card is what it means, but it just happens to be the example they used in the book, so I'm not quite sure how I should play that one. I'll play it the way it's written, even though it doesn't make any sense. So first and foremost, I think we'll play Charlotte on her hidden side. Draw 3 cards from the Coven deck. Take all curses into your hand and place any remaining cards back on top of the Coven deck. So you're just looking for curses. So, and I got, my first card is a curse. My second card is Jane. And my third card is Philip. So it says, take the curse into my hand. I have done that. And then I put the rest back on top of the deck. So I know who's coming. I don't know what they do yet. So now I have 2 curses. That's cool. Okay, so I played Charlotte. She's done. Now I'm going to play Catherine. For each Kent, including Catherine, in play, discard 1 curse from your hand to the Coven discard pile, then draw a card from the Coven deck to replace it. You know what? Screw that. I'm going to play this like I can do it twice because I have 2 Kents in play, and that's how the card read. I'll find it online later, or NetGod, if you have time to go look it up on BGG, great. I don't care. because that's how I'm going to play it. The card says for each Kent, and this is my second Kent, so I can discard 2 curses and draw 2 cards. That's how I read it. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take these 2 curses that are in my hand and put them in the discard pile and draw 2 more cards. Okay, cool. Now I have 4 witches to work with here. Alrighty, so now I've kind of pruned some curses from my hand, which is really cool. Let's find out what these folks do. First and foremost, what does the X mean in these cards? X's. Okay. She doesn't have a revealed action, but she does have a whopping 4 power, which will certainly help in the next phase. Ah, okay. So they're powerful. You notice the power on the upper left and upper right corners of these cards. They're different. The power is lower when they're hidden. The power is higher when they're revealed. So in this case with Phyllis, she has no special ability when she's revealed. She just gets a lot more power. You'll notice the rest of these have 2s and 3s. This one has 4. That's because Phyllis is more powerful, despite the fact that she has no special ability when she's revealed. So let's take a look at our missions. I haven't even talked about missions. So let's go look at missions for a minute. And we'll take a little walk through here. First and foremost, our first judge. Ooh, that is not in focus. Why didn't anybody tell me? There we go. That's much better. So first and foremost, our first judge is Hackett. Not much to see here. That's just his picture and his current persuasion level of 2. So then we come down here, and the first mission is put out the fire at the woodcutter's shed. Act 1. I believe it says if we fail, lose a villager's card. So it doesn't have a success effect, but it does have a failure effect. And then this number over here on the right side of the card, this is the number of cards that we draw underneath it. And that's why there's 3 down there. And then this, I believe, is persuasion, pass or fail. Let's take a look at the anatomy of that card just to make sure I'm not missing the trick here. Yeah, okay, right. Persuasion, linked juror or other juror. Oh, I see. So this is a Hackett. That's what this icon means up here. Little tiny hatchet icon. Matches the little tiny hatchet icon on Hackett himself. This means that if I succeed in completing this mission, then Hackett's persuasion will go up 2, and all other jurors' persuasion will go up 1. And that will be true for the other linked missions that we're going to try to complete. And then, of course, the effect. So if I fail here, I'm going to lose a villager's card. So what else do we have? Well, our second juror is Martha. Martha also starts out with 2. All 3 of them do. And her first linked mission is protect our children at the school. This has a success effect. Discard 1 challenge from another mission. That's great. Makes the missions easier, or at least one other mission easier if we succeed here. And this has 4 challenge cards underneath it. And then our last judge is Ichabod. And Ichabod's first linked mission is cure the villagers in the plague house. This has a failure condition. We gain a curse if we fail, because presumably Ichabod or his ilk will curse us. Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, interesting. So those are our missions. My brain immediately goes to, let's avoid failures, and if we can complete the one that gives us a success, great. But I don't really want to deal with failures. But let's see what happens. Okay, now, missions and challenge effects. There are 4 types of effects on missions and their challenges. The ones we've been seeing are success and failure. Success effects trigger if you overcome the card. Failure effects trigger if you fail to overcome the card. So yeah, as we suspected, there are 2 other types of missions, and those are chosen or not chosen. But we haven't seen those yet. We'll get into that. Okay, so how do we complete a mission? Determine the available power. Total on all witches you've played this round and add it to any power produced by effects on familiars. Ooh, there's familiars in your area. Use the revealed power for revealed witches and hidden power for hidden witches. If the power includes an asterisk star, increase the value as indicated in the appropriate text box on the card. Cool. Overcome challenges. Use your available power to overcome challenges at the chosen mission. Okay, so let's take a look at this mission we've got on the board. Cure the villagers on the plague house. This is the goal. We need to have 4 power to overcome that mission. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Resolve challenges one at a time in any order you choose. You may choose to stop overcoming challenges at any time, particularly if you want to overcome the mission in the next step. You must stop if you don't have enough power to overcome any more challenges. Why do we care about challenges? Is it like a shield on the mission? We actually can't complete the mission? Let's see. What are challenges, Precious? Like, challenges are these cards. I know what they are, but I don't understand how. Oh, challenges provide additional threats and opportunities, which you will uncover, flip face up, when you choose a mission. Certain actions and effects may allow you to uncover them sooner. Huh. So you can fail I presume you can fail a challenge then, right? Yeah. I see. So challenges are optional, but we lose the game if we fail 2 missions. We don't want to fail missions then. So even in this one that says success, we still want to make sure we succeed at it because we don't want to fail any missions. Oh, I get it. Okay. Okay, so, well, we've played Charlotte and Catherine, and each of them have, we played them on their hidden sides, and each of them have 1 power. So that's 2 power we've accumulated just by playing them this round. That's good. What else do we have? So if we come back to here, let's come back to the full screen first, and then we'll come back to our hand. So we have Phyllis, and if we play her hidden, uncover 1 challenge. That's not bad. Might not be a bad thing to do. Okay. We have Jane Kent. If we play her hidden, +2 power if you have no curses in your hand. I have no curses in my hand right now. So that would be an effective 3 power. That's cool. And then revealed for each Kent, including Jane. Well, I have 2 other Kents out right now. In play, remove 1 curse from your hand and place it in the curse pile. Well, I've already done that, so I don't need to worry about her. So let's just play her hidden right now. Might as well. I have no curses in my hand. So that's 3, 4, 5 power. Great. Next, capture 1 face-up. This is Amelia Stevens. Capture 1 face-up familiar in the hidden form. We don't have a face-up familiar yet. Or +2 power for each familiar in your play area. Okay, so this is all about familiars. Don't have any yet, but that's good to know. Jocelyn Hayes, bring her down. Jocelyn Hayes in a hidden form. Look at the top 3 cards of the challenge deck. Discard any of them and place the rest back in any order. That's neat. Uncover all challenges at a mission, then discard 1 of them. That's tempting. But we don't want to put her in jail. Maybe we do, though. I don't know. Because how do we get people out of jail? Do we get people out of jail? Recover. Yeah, you place your revealed witches into the jail pile. You place your hidden witches into the coven discard pile along with the, yeah, you draw new cards. Right. Hand contains witches, so perform, right? All right. Right. Okay. What about jail? Reading the fact right now, looking to see if there's a jail activity here. How do I get witches from the recruit deck and jail pile? There are a few witch actions and challenge and mission effects which tell you to recruit a witch. When this happens, draw a card from the recruit deck and place it into your coven discard pile. There are also a few actions and effects which let you take witches back from jail. Aha. Okay. So at which point do these folks get cast out? I thought they got cast out. Well, what's the trial look like? We did that already. Okay, so I guess they just go to jail. They never really get cast out, unless I'm missing something. For each can't. I don't know. I don't know where I was reading that. Sorry about that. If you happen to recall what I was reading at the time. Go to trial. Things are going well. You haven't failed any missions or lost any villagers, and there are still plenty of witches left in your coven deck or curses. You decide to press on rather than ending the game and going to trial. I see. Okay. So I think it's just that they get locked up. Okay. All right. Good enough. I thought they got cast out, but they apparently just get locked up. Good enough for me. So we've got 5 power at the moment. Do we want to put Jocelyn in jail in exchange for revealing cards and being able to discard one of them? That's pretty powerful, because if we come back here, all of these cards are currently hidden to us. If we want to gain advantage from any of them, we have to first flip them over. So being able to reveal a bunch of these challenge cards would be beneficial. And also a bit more of a pain in the butt, because it gives us things that potentially we might have to fight against or deal with. So let's say we want to pick a mission. Let's start with picking a mission. Resolve any effects on missions in display. Uncover all challenges at the chosen mission. Oh, well, that's weird. So Jocelyn would let me reveal ahead of time. Before I select a mission, I can use Jocelyn on her revealed side, which puts her in jail. In other words, I no longer get to use her for the rest of the game unless somebody else lets me pull somebody out of jail. To flip over these cards preemptively so that I know what I'm about to face before I choose the mission. That's kind of cool. Because no matter what happens, once I choose a mission, I'm flipping these over, but then it's just, I'm stuck with it. So I don't want to choose a mission preemptively unless I know what I'm facing. Unless I don't have a choice. So I should probably use Jocelyn for that. Plus I get 2 power out of it. I guess I get 2 power either way for her, because she's 2 and 2. I like that. We're going to play Jocelyn as on her revealed size. It's just too powerful. So we're going to uncover all challenges at one of the missions and then choose one to discard. 2 schools of thought here. I could uncover one of the missions that only has 3 cards and then discard 1, which would bring that down to 2. And then there's fewer challenges left at that mission, which would be good. Or I could even the scales. I could take this one that has 4, bring it down to 3, and then all 3 of them have, and then all 3 missions have 3 challenge cards. But that's what I think I'm going to do, because I want to see more cards right now. So I'm going to choose Protect Our Children at the School. Uncover all challenges at a mission and discard one of them. So we have an evil witch. We have a fox. I believe that's a familiar. Cool. We have another evil witch, a slightly more powerful one, and a whippoorwill. Now, let's take a closer look because I've never seen these cards before. I think the witches are pretty straightforward, but we'll look at the whippoorwill and the fox a little closer. So that should do it. Make sure that those are, we'll move them over a little bit. So our whippoorwill and the fox both have a challenge required a power of 2 or more to defeat. You cannot overcome other challenges at the mission while it has any whippoorwills. Uh-oh. I have to go after him first. He's a shield. Okay, fox. When you choose a mission, you may remove the fox from the game to have its difficulty rounded up. Interesting. Success. Capture this familiar and place it into your play area. We definitely want a familiar because we have Amelia Stevens. Amelia Stevens says, +2 power for each familiar in your play area. And I can play her right now to capture the fox. But I cannot do that right now until we overcome the whippoorwill. Interesting. Okay. So that's the situation. All right. So now back to here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to hold Amelia Stevens for a little while because we want to use her to capture that fox. Let's play, well, hold on. Before I do anything, the only other card I have left in my hand is Phyllis and Amelia. And Phyllis is just brute strength if we reveal her, but then we lose her. And right now she's letting us uncover challenges. So I feel like we should do that. Keep her around and let her uncover challenges a little bit. So maybe this is where we stop and we select a mission. But before I do, let's do a quick total up. We've got 2 power from Jocelyn. We've got 2 power from the first 2 Kent sisters. And the third Kent sister adds 3. So we're at 7 at the moment. The fox and the whippoorwill require 4. Okay. So we won't have enough with just the cards we already have in play to take out both the whippoorwill, capture the fox, and address the mission. But I think we would need another, let's see, we have, what did I say, 7? Yeah. We have 7 power now. We need a total of 6, 7, 4, 11. So we need 5 more power. I'm only going to get 4 more if I play both of my witches as hidden. But I could complete the entire mission if I expose Phyllis right now. Or Amelia, for that matter. I don't want to do that right away, though. So maybe we fail one of them. Okay. Well, in any effect, we know we are done with step 1, which is play witches. Now we decide which mission. We're going to choose the middle mission. We're going to go after protecting our children at the school. Resolve any card block. There are no card block. Discard cards, I believe is what that means. Effects. No, not chosen. Okay, I see. We have no not chosen effects. We have a chosen effect here, but not a not chosen. Okay. Uncover. Oh, I see. Other missions, once we uncover them, might have some, but we don't at the moment. Uncover all challenges of the mission, already done. Resolve any chosen effects on the chosen mission and its challenges. So in other words, take care of the shields first. Okay. Okay. Well, since we can't move on until we take care of the shield, we will do that. Yeah, but how do we overcome challenges? Yeah. You often won't have enough power to overcome all of these cards, so you'll have to choose which are the most important. Use your available power to overcome challenges of the chosen mission. Resolve challenges one at a time in any order to choose. You may choose to stop. You must, yeah, okay. Okay. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is just discard power cards that I have on my in play to try to keep track. So we know that the two Charlotte sisters give me one each, so I'll discard them, and we'll get rid of the Whippoorwill, which is our kind of our shield card for this attempt here. Okay, we have resolved any chosen cards and its challenges. No other chosen exist right now. Okay, fine. Play the remaining witches. Okay, so this is where we would play more witch cards from our hand towards this whole situation. So we can now play Amelia Stevens for 2 power on her hidden side, which will let us capture 1 face-up familiar. So we will capture the fox, and we'll put the fox in our play area. We now have the fox as a familiar. Okay, that leaves us with 2 challenges left. I have Phyllis. Oh, right. Oh, that was a hidden ability. Okay, great. So I didn't have to spend the power. Capture 1 face-up familiar. Done. Huh. That's handy. Let's make sure I'm not wrong about that. Yeah. Cool. It just says capture, so I captured. I guess that means I don't actually have to pay the power from it, because you can defeat them instead. Well, yeah, that's odd. I kind of feel like I should have to pay the power for that. Let's see if the fact says anything about it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't say. How strange. Okay, well, we'll move on. I'm pretty sure that means I get to capture it for free, because it's the effect of the card when I play her hidden. It doesn't say, okay, now spend 2 power to capture. It just says you get to capture because you played her hidden effect. So I still have 2 power with which to spend, which is cool. So now I have a total of 5. In order to resolve everything on the board, remaining on the board, I need 4 plus 1 plus 2, so 7. I have 4. If I want to play Phyllis as revealed, I'd have enough, because it would give me 8. But then I would lose Phyllis, and Phyllis lets me uncover challenges. So I think I'm just going to accept a curse card, which I hate. But Catherine does let me, you know, get curse cards out of my hands. So let's play Phyllis as hidden. And we'll just accept we're not going to get one of these witches done. This is the most powerful one. We have three. Oh, wait, hold on. What do we have left? We have three. Yeah. Right. This is actually, Jane Kent is actually 3, not 1, because we have no curse cards. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, we have enough, folks. That's handy. We have enough without having to get rid of Phyllis. So let's just do it all. Okay, so this is 3, 1 and 2 for the witches. So we'll get Jane Kent and her 3 and discard her. So that takes care of the witches. And now we just need 4. Well, we have 6, and that takes care of the 4 required at the mission. So let's resolve the mission. Determine available power. 6. Yeah. Overcome challenges, which we have just got done doing. Right. Did all that. If your remaining power is equal to or greater than the chosen mission's difficulty, you have overcome it. Resolve any effects on the card. Success. Discard 1 challenge from another mission. Well, it is blind. Oh, that's not true. Phyllis had an ability. Her hidden ability is uncover 1 challenge. So we should choose which of these remaining 6 cards to flip over. Well, we'll just choose this one. Angry Mob. Well, we know it's somebody. Oh, and this one says you cannot overcome a mission while it has angry mobs. Well, the success from Protect Our Children lets us discard 1 challenge from another mission, and this is a shield effect that makes me have to deal with the mob. So let's just get rid of that right now. It's a weak mob. We would be better to get rid of something a little stronger. However, I cannot abide things that make me have to deal with them. So I'm happy with that decision. So what do we do here? This is a challenge. We'll put it over here in the discard pile. Now what happens when we complete the mission? Any remaining power is lost. These guys go into jail. Where's my jail? Which one is my jail? Find jail. Jail is villager deck is lost souls. Jail pile. It's just over here. Got it. Okay. So she's in jail. Jocelyn's in jail. Thank you for helping us out. You did great. These other 2 go into the discard deck. Villagers and lost souls. We'll get there. Okay. We haven't had any of that yet, but maybe we will. Okay. Place the mission card back in the box. Oh, wow. Great. Out of the game it goes. Okay. Suffer the aftermath. If you failed to overcome any challenges, in this case, we got it all done. Fine. If you failed to overcome the mission itself, we got that done. Go to trial. No, we're not going to go to trial yet. Recover. Place the witches in your play area face up into your appropriate pile. Fine, did that. Place revealed witches into the jail pile. Did that. Place hidden witches into the coven discard pile. Keep any familiars. We have kept the fox. Place any curses in your hand into the coven discard pile. Did that. Draw a new hand of 5 cards from the coven deck. Okay. I have a feeling we're going to go again. We got a curse. Eleanor, Lily, Mercy Lily, Gwen Hayes, and Sabrina Lily. Okay, so we only got 1 curse, but we have 3 Lilies. Hopefully there's a family synergy going on there. So Fox is down there. We'll scoot those down a minute so you can see all those a little bit more. Okay. Okay. So that is a curse. We'll scoot that over. There we go. There you go. Now you can see a little bit better. And of course we have our fox right here too, which I'll keep off to the side. Okay, so Sabrina's just straight power. But for each revealed lily, including Sabrina, in play, choose one witch in jail and place it on top of the coven deck. Ooh. That's pretty handy. When do we draw new missions? If you overcame the chosen mission this round, draw the top card from the mission deck and place it face up in the gap left in the display. Okay. That's when we do it. So we got a new mission. The new mission is this one. And it says, gather medicine at the edge of the woods. This requires 5 challenge cards. Woo. A hare, another familiar. Plague rats, Rutrow. We do hate a plague rat. A raven, of course you can't see. A raven, another plague rats. Love that for us. I don't want to lose villagers. That sucks. Okay, and then a whippoorwill. Of course it's a whippoorwill. So I have to deal with that first. So here's the problem. If we lose the plague rats, which by the way have a power of 3 each, I mean, youch, right? If we lose the plague rats, we lose villagers. Villagers are a card we haven't even seen yet, but if we lose 5 villagers out of the village for any reason, we lose the game. We have to keep our villagers alive. So that's going to require a lot of power. Plus, unfortunately, the mission itself is 6 power. So that means I need 12 power just for the plague rats and the mission. That's insane. Looking at my hand right now, it's a very low powered hand. I don't even know that I could get to 6 without, with just as it is, unless there's some abilities here I'm not seeing. I don't see any asterisk stars on any of these powers. So the ability to multiply by different things. But I don't have to take that mission right now. This mission is one that I can choose to do later, which I may do because that is insane. I might just want to come over here one of the 4s. In fact, this one only has 2 challenges and I have a weak hand. So I might be coming over here and just to see what these are. We will see how that goes. I think we'll probably put the fire out of the woodcutter shed next. Oh, wait. We did not resolve the persuasion on this mission. We need to do that first. Hold on. Huh. That's odd. At what point resolve the mission? Yeah. I see. Oh, I see. There it is. I missed it. Using the fire, you've overcome the mission. First, its effect meaning you'll join. Second, you gain persuasion over one of the jurors. You choose to gain 2 persuasion over this juror rather than 1 persuasion over another juror. You move the token on that juror's track 2 spaces forward. Okay. All right. So this mission, we'll put it here and we'll come in close there so we can see it. Okay. This mission says the person with the scales on it, which is, no, I'm sorry, not this. The person with the book icon, rather. So this is an Ichabod mission. they would go up 2 persuasion. I think I'm going to just do that right now. I don't see why I wouldn't. So I'm going to take the bonus persuasion on Ichabod for this first one. Yeah, I am. Okay. So what we do when we want to take the persuasion is we just bump Ichabod up from 2 to 4. So now Ichabod likes us a little bit more. Okay, all right. Crisis averted. I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing? All right. Yep. Okay, cool. Now we're done. We can start again. All right, so we now are saying we want to come over here and put out the fire because it's a 4 difficulty ability. We need to play some witches. So who do we want to play? Well, this one? No. This one. There we go. Well, let's see. We have Sabrina for each lily revealed. Okay, we don't want to go fishing for somebody out of jail yet. So we're going to play Sabrina for 2 power on her hidden side. Choose a mission for each haze. There's only 1 haze in my hand. Discard a face-up challenge and replace it with the top card of the challenge deck. Maybe I can get rid of one of those plague rats. On the other hand, move 1 or 2 face-up challenges from one mission to another with fewer than 8 challenges. Got it. I think I'm going to play Gwen for 1 power. And we're going to discard a challenge in play. And replace it with the top card. So it's not going to actually make it go away, but hopefully it won't be a plague rat. So before I go any further, let's just resolve that. We're going to get rid of this plague rat. And we're going to replace it with a top deck. Chickens, cursed chickens. Gain a curse and put it on top of the coven deck. I would rather gain a curse at this stage than lose a villager. So I think that was a fair trade. Unfortunately, it was just as strong. It's a 3 powered card, but I got rid of one of the 2 cards that said I have to lose a villager. So I think that was a fair trade. Okay, now back to the rest of our hand. What do we want to do? Draw 1 card from the coven deck for each lily in play. Well, I have 1 lily in play, so maybe we want to play Eleanor last. We have a curse, which of course we can do nothing about right now. And then Mercy. For each lily, including Mercy in play, draw 1 card from the recruit deck. Ooh. Choose 1 to place in your hand and shuffle the others back into the recruit deck. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Do I want to sacrifice Mercy? Not yet. I haven't been losing enough. I only have 1 person in jail. So I'm not going to worry about trying to recruit right now, especially since I'm going to end up with putting her in jail. So we're going to play her for 2 instead. So now I'm up to 5. It's enough to defeat the mission, but we also don't know what challenges are under there. Eleanor doesn't help us immediately, but it says, draw 1 card from the coven deck for each lily in play, including Eleanor. Choose 1 to place in your hand, shuffle the others back. Okay, so let's just play her now. She doesn't help us with power, and we have a total of 3. So I have 2 cards I can draw, which would mean I have to shuffle my discard deck. And there's not very many cards here, so I'll just do a quick hand shuffle. Yeah, so there's 2 cards remaining in my draw. So we'll draw those 2. We'll draw the top of my newly shuffled deck. And who did we get? Well, we got all 3 witches. That's great. So who do we want to pick from here? Jane Kent. Hannah Miller. We have another. No, we don't. We have Hayes and Lilies. I have a curse card, so I don't want to pick Jane. You uncover one conviction card on a juror. Ooh, Hannah Miller. Let's do that. Yeah, we're going to choose Hannah Miller. So these now get shuffled back in, right? Shuffle the others back into the deck. Okay, so that's this. Okay, make sure they're all facing the right direction. Quickly give those another shuffle. So we're going to pick Hannah here. Okay, so let's decide who we're going to learn a little bit more about here. We have a little bonus on Ichabod right now, so I kind of want to know what our target is. He's at 4. Is it enough? Or can I not worry about his missions quite so much right now? On the other hand, I have 2 of Martha's linked missions out right now. It would be nice to know if I need to worry about those. Yeah, let's expose one of Martha's. Martha's first persuasion card is a 5. So without knowing that, she's at effectively a 7. Okay, that gave us 1 additional power from Hannah by playing her. Okay, so we haven't even picked our mission yet. We've played all of our cards. So I have a total of 6 power. This is risky. I'm definitely gonna. We're gonna have to take the put out the fire woodcutter shed one way or the other, and we're just gonna have to deal with whatever comes. Okay, so here it comes. We're gonna expose the 2 challenges. Plague rats for 2, looking okay, and chosen. Oh damn it! We're gonna lose a villager. Are we? Oh no. Okay. This is our chosen mission. So this does affect all challenges on this mission other than wood sprites get +1 difficulty. So that means I'm effectively going to have to choose between leaving these 2 in play, which therefore means the plague rats are going to kill a villager, or losing the mission, which also means we lose a villager. I think I want to get rid of the mission, because I want the persuasion. I'm going to lose a villager either way. And how do we win? Well, we win when we decide whether we're done trying to face all this stuff and try to persuade judges that we're not evil. So we need that persuasion. Okay, so let's find out what happens when we lose a villager. That sucks. By the way, we can only lose 5. We can only lose 4, 5 or greater. How do we lose villagers? It's a good book, by the way. It's pretty easy to find answers like that. Right. Let's see. Uncover a card, revealed. Recruit. No. No. Okay. Right. Villagers. The villager cards represent people of the village, Wildgrens, that you are trying to protect. When you are instructed to lose a villager, draw a card from the villager deck. If you draw a 0 card, shuffle it back into the villager's deck. You don't lose any villagers. Otherwise, place the card face up into the Lost Souls. Oh. If the total number of villagers on the cards in the Lost Souls pile is 5 or greater. So it's not 4 cards, it's the total on the cards themselves. Uh-oh. That makes it even worse. Okay, here's what we got. I drew the top card, and it is 1 villager. Okay. So the plague rats only kill 1 person this time around. What happens when we choose not to complete a challenge? If you fail to overcome any challenges on the chosen mission, resolve the effects, then place them face up in the discard pile. Oh, okay, so they go away at least. Okay. Nothing happens on the wood sprites. There's no failure effect there. They're just there to make my life difficult. Okay. That leaves me with the mission. I have chosen to save all my power for this mission. And I have completed it. It requires 4, and I have 6 power. And therefore, 2 persuasion on the linked, which is a Hackett mission. So, yeah, do I want to do that? Or do I want to bump up Martha for 1 and just leave Hackett alone? But we haven't seen, Martha's already got 2 out right now. I feel like I'm going to leave this 6 mission here and I'm never going to touch it because this is just insane. The amount of power I need to go after him that this mission is just crazy town. So let's just take it. Let's take the 2 on Hackett. We'll go up 4. It's early days. We don't even know really what we're facing yet. Okay. New mission. Destroy the lost soldier camp at the old battlefield. This is an Act 2 mission. It requires 5 power. And it says, chosen, when we choose the mission, increase the difficulty of all challenges at this mission by 1. Yikes. And it requires me to draw 4 cards. Okay. Well, that is interesting. We'll scoot that over. That is, by the way, a Ichabod mission. But the benefit is much higher. If you go after it, it is a 4-2. So I'd get 4 persuasion for Ichabod if I completed it. Okay. Well, let's draw our hand of 5. By the way, the curse card goes into the discard pile. And we draw a fresh curse. We love that. Okay. Getting some Kent cards. I like that. All right. So we'll come in here. Our fresh set of downs here. Curses come up. We'll worry about them later. What do we have? Mary Perrin. +1 power for each villager on the villager cards in the Lost Souls pile. Well, that's handy. +2 power. So she's just stronger even still. So it's a base 2 +2. Wow. So she'd be 4 if I revealed her right now. But I want to do that later when I have more villagers on the pile. As it is, this would be a 2. I have 1 villager plus her base 1. Well, I might as well just play her that way. That's what we're going to do. So that's a 2 power. Okay, for each Kent, we have 3 Kents total, so we're going to play Catherine last. Okay, we're gonna play. Are we gonna play Charlotte? This is the pruning curses thing. Yeah, let's play Jane for her hidden side because she also stacks. So right now she's at 1 because I only have because I do have curses in my hand. Let's see. Now we're gonna play Charlotte for 1. Yeah. Yeah. Draw 3 cards from the deck, take all curses into your hand. I have only 3 cards left and only 1 curse I drew. And then back on top of my deck in any order. Well, who do I want first? Uncover 1 challenge. I'll take Phyllis first. Okay. Now, for Catherine, it says, for each Kent, including Catherine, in play, discard 1 curse from your hand to the Coven discard pile. Then draw a card from the Coven deck to replace it. Okay, well, I have 3 Kents in play, including Catherine. I only have 2 curses, so I'll discard both of those and draw 2 cards, which gives me the 2 that I had just looked at, Phyllis and Amelia. And they're in my hand. That's handy. Okay, so now that I no longer have any curses, Jane is now worth 3 instead of 1 power. So that is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And then if I play both of these as their hidden values, that would be 2 more. So it'll be 11 total. Well, that is almost enough to take on the big mission. I would have 11. And if I did that at 11, I could lose another villager card, which would suck because it might be a lot of villagers. And then kill the curse card, or vice versa. Or, kill the villager's card and then gain the curse, which I don't really want to do because it's a fine line between having too many curses. I will be able to capture this face-up Raven, though, with Amelia. So let's just do that right now. We're going to play Amelia for 2 and capture 1 face-up. So we're going to capture the... you cannot overcome other challenges at a mission. Oh, that's... while it has any whippoorwills. Can I do that? I guess not. You cannot overcome any other challenges. Well, maybe I won't play Amelia yet, because I might use my power to kill the whippoorwill, which would let me get another familiar. Yeah, I'm feeling a scenario here where this works. Maybe now is the time to play Phyllis for her powered up side. She gets 4 if we play her revealed. I think it's time for Phyllis to take a spin in the pokey. And what does that mean, though? So I'm at 5, 6, 7 plus 4, 11 points. And I still have Amelia to give me 2 more. 11 points. Okay, so I've played my witch cards. I'm now selecting. Am I going to do it? Yes. We're going to select gather medicine at the edge of the woods. Oof. I never thought I'd get enough power to take this one on. But the cards came out in the right order. Okay. And so the first thing I have to do is kill this whippoorwill for 1. So Catherine is going to be spent to take care of the whippoorwill. fact, I'm gonna tap them. I'm gonna tap them down here. So Whippoorwill is now done. Okay, so Catherine's still in play, but we've spent her energy or her power. So now we can play Amelia on her hidden side. Capture one face-up familiar. The Raven or the Hare? Let's take a look and decide which one we want to capture. Okay, we have the fox. Now the Raven says, when a witch would be lost, you may remove the Raven from the game instead. Place the witch back into the discard pile. The Hare, at the start of each round, you may discard one curse from your hand to the Coven discard pile and then draw one card from the Coven deck to replace it. Ooh, I'm going to go with the Hare. That's too good. That's too good. Okay. All right. Now back to here. Right. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. So, what do we have left? We've got to take care of the cursed chickens and the plague rats and the 6-power mission. We've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What did I do there? Right. We knew that was going to have to happen because of the Whippoorwill. So we're going to take the curse because we have the ability to sidestep a curse a little easier now. So we're going to take the curse. We're going to not take a villager or lose a villager card. I could defeat the Raven because I have a total of 11. And if we look closer at our challenges, this is 6, 7, 8, and this is 6. So that's 12, right? But if we know we only have 11 power, and we're going to have to take the curse, so we'll just ignore that card. That's 5 plus the 6 is 11. So I can still defeat the Raven and capture it. So we're going to do that. I think that's great. Okay. We're going to capture the Raven for 2. We are going to eliminate the plague rats. And that leaves us with exactly 6 to resolve the mission of gathering medicine. The success on this mission is remove one curse from your hand and place it in the curse pile. And that is troubling because I don't have any curses in my hand right now. Oh, well, that's unimportant. We get 4 persuasion for Martha. That's the more important part. It would have been nice to get rid of that, but it is what it is. So 2 plus 4 is 6. So Martha's persuasion is currently at 6. Plus her 5 or minus her 5 would be 1. But we also don't know what's under here. It's not going to be 1. But it's a step in the right direction. We might even persuade Martha before it's over. Okay. Since we know we had to take the hit for this cursed chicken, so we gain a curse into our hand. Oh, on top of the Coven pile, so it's coming in next. Great. Okay. So that is done. Right. Next mission. It is a Hackett mission.
What did he say?
Doesn't the Hare give you an effect on curses? It does. At the start of each round, you may discard one curse from your hand and draw another card. Let's see. 5 cards. You draw 5 cards. Another 5-card one. Don't like that. I was hoping to get one that was a little less, but it's an Act 2, so I'm not too surprised. Whew. Busy down here. Okay. All right. We're going to draw 5 cards, but one of them is a curse. We know that to be a curse because it just got added to our hand or to our deck. So I'm shuffling up my hand here, or my discard pile rather. Okay. I don't need this for the moment. So that is our first card. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably a lot of curses. Oh, only 2. Okay. So we have 3 familiars, which is real handy. In fact, I'll just run them along the side here for now. Keep them out of the way. Hold on, let me do a little housekeeping. Okay, got those in view. So we know those are curses. Curses. Curses, I say. All right, our 3 witches that we get to deal with today are Hannah. Uncover a conviction. That's not a bad thing. Oh, right. And before we even deal with those, Hannah, Gwen, and Sabrina. But let's handle our last. Oh, wait. That was dumb. That was dumb. Nope. Absolutely not. That curse is still there. But the discard pile did not have my cards in it from last round, and my deck was completely dry. So it actually needed to be fully shuffled, and I didn't include my cards from last round. So let's give it a real shuffle and see who we really have. We know that that curse was there because that was the top of the deck. But these other 4 needed to be a full shuffle. That was not legit. Okay, 1 more and we should be good. Cool. All right. Now let's see who we really had here. Of course, now my deck is upside down. Here we go. All right. Jane. Amelia. A curse. And Phyllis. Phyllis is not actually with us. She's in jail. So, Charlotte. Okay. Well, that's good. We still at least got 3 witches to work with. Not doing great for power, though, unless somebody lets us do some discarding. Charlotte lets us get some curses, but I don't really want to do that for now. For each Kent in play, remove 1 curse from your hand, place it on the discard pile. Handy, but then we're going to lose her to jail. We don't even get to draw more cards. Oh, but Amelia, I have 3 familiars in my hand right now. So that's 6 power plus her 3 is 9 if we play her revealed. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Then the rest of them are 1 and 2. So best I could do would be 11 power. I think that's probably pretty good, though. Yeah, we're going to do that. I think it's time for Amelia to go to jail, which I don't like doing because I need to start recruiting now because it's getting bad. Okay. All right. We have 2 curses in our hand, which sucks, and I can't really do anything about it this time. It is what it is. We are going to play Amelia Stevens on her revealed side for power. So she's worth 9. The other 2 are 1 in each. So ooh. If I play Charlotte Kent, well, okay, it gets some curses out of my hand, and I don't need more power, so I am just going to play her for 1. Draw 3 cards from the Coven deck, take all curses into my hand. I drew 2 curses, and then any remaining cards back on top of the deck. So I just kind of filtered out 4 curses. Oh, and you're right, at the start of each round, you may discard 1 curse from your hand. Well, I started with 1, so I knew that. And then draw from the pile. So I'll draw another card, and it is a witch. So now, if we wanted to, do we want to play that now? Yeah, she's worth 2. I'm at 11 now. Let's just play her. It is Mary Perrin, so she gets a 1 power per villager in the village, in the Lost Souls deck over there, which is only 1. So it's right now she's worth 2. 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, and then plus 9. Wow, 13 power. Well, I was going to go after the weaker of the missions, but with 13 power, I'm feeling like maybe I shouldn't. Maybe we go after. I'm not confident enough that we have enough power for this one, which is 7 power and 5 cards. That is brutal. Maybe instead we go after this 5 power, destroy the Lost Souls at the old battlefield. But the difficulty of the challenges at this mission go up 1. So there's that. But I do have 12 power. That leaves me 7 to deal with some of the stuff at the on the challenges. And it's an Ichabod one where we already have a fair amount of persuasion, at least a little bit of persuasion. So it would bolster that even more. It would take him from 4 to 8. The benefit of doing the cure villagers is it would bolster Martha even more. But I'm probably going to need to save that for when I don't get a really great draw. At least I can go after that one and try it. Yeah, let's go after this Lost Soldiers camp. I have 12 power, if I did my math right. I have 13 power, I think. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 13 power. Okay, we're going to go for it. This is our mission right here. Oh boy. Ooh, an evil witch of 4. Hate that. Lose a random hidden witch. What does that mean? Who's a hidden witch? Oh, you mean hidden over here. Right. Yikes, a hootie. Oh, boy. Okay. The wood sprites. The wood sprites go up 1. Oh, so if we need to kill the wood sprites. Okay, well, let's do the math. What would it take to kill them all? And of course, we'll kill the wood sprites in that order so that they're not more difficult anymore. So 3, 4, plus 4 is 8, plus 5 is 13. Wait a minute, can I kill them all? Yeah, I think I can. 8 plus 5, 13, and I have 13 power. Murder! Okay, we're going to kill the wood sprites first, because that way it debuffs the remaining challenge cards. And then defeat the wild boar, defeat the evil witch, and defeat this weak plague rat. All gone. That leaves me with 5. And that is exactly what I need to complete this mission. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait.
What did he say?
That's the wrinkle. That's the wrinkle. It did, except that I killed the sprites first. And the sprites, the buff only applies to the sprites. But there's an even bigger wrinkle. So, oh, it is you're right, it is a chosen effect too. So it's not a, if I leave it alone, if I don't kill it, then this happens. It is it just happens to be, you're right. So even if that were the case, the mission itself increases everything by 1 as well. So everything here is buffed by 2, except for the wood sprites, which is actually only buffed by 1. So this is actually 3, this is actually 3, and this is a 6, and this is a 3. So 3, 3, 3, 6 is what that means. Hate that. So with that in mind, we only have 8. Which one do we want to worry about the most? We don't care about killing the wood sprites because then nothing bad happens to us. It already happened by us choosing the mission. So if that's the case, we have 3, 6, 7 plus 5. Is that right? 6 plus 3 and 3 is 12 plus 5 is 17. Okay. So we need to drop 4, which means I think we're going to gain the curse from the witch because these two are worth 3. I don't want to lose a hidden witch. I don't want to lose a witch at all. So we're leaving the wood sprites alone. We don't care if we lose the wood sprites because nothing bad happens to us. So we're just going to ignore that. What are we going to do instead? This is 3 and this is 3. So that's 6 plus 5 is 11. This is 6 and this is 3. 9 plus 5 is 14. We don't have enough power for that. So either we leave the witch alone and gain a curse, or we lose a villager, or we lose a hidden witch. I think we're going to lose a villager. I don't want another curse. And we have a little bit of room on the villagers for now. It's a gamble, but it's going to be what it's going to be. Yeah. Okay, so that's 6. That's 9. Wait. This is 6. This is 3. I can't do that. I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough power. So that's 9 plus 5 is 14. So I'm going to have to take the curse. I don't have a choice. That sucks. All right. It is what it is. So there's that. I take the curse. Gain a curse. And so those are gone. That leaves me with 7. I only need 5 to complete the mission. And that gives me 4 persuasion on Ichabod. So that goes from 4 to 8. That was rough, man. Amelia goes to prison. Mary goes to, these 3 go to discard. The curses go to discard. I only have 1 curse card left to gain before I lose the game for gaining too many curses. Things are getting dicey in here. That is an Act 3 curse that just came out. Our first, I believe. And it says, face Baba Yaga in the woods. It is 7 at a 7 power mission. I'm probably not going to pick this one. Ooh, not chosen. If there are 3 or fewer curses in the curse pile, you lose the game. I have to choose this or I lose. Well, Maybe now is the time to see if we persuaded enough. Yikes. I could lose the mission. I can still lose the mission, like intentionally. Just tank the mission. It's not going to get any easier, though. The other two missions that are there are Act 3 missions. Mm-hmm. Nothing bad happens. I just have to go there. But it makes me deal with 5 cards, too. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, we got some cards. We know we're going to pull some cards. So the first things first, let's draw the 5 cards that it tells me to draw for this mission. 5 freaking cards. Yikes. Don't know where I'm going to put them all. Right. Okay, so we've done that. We've got our 5 cards kind of mangled out there. Fine. Then we get to draw our set of cards. So that's 5. One of them is a curse. There's our curse. And who did we get? We don't have to select our mission right now. We know we're going to select that one, but let's see what we're going to deal with here. Okay, so our curse is up there. We don't have to worry about that. For each lily, draw 1 card from the recruit deck. I wouldn't mind recruiting. Interesting. Well, I'd be able to draw 2 and pick 1. Okay. This one says draw the top card of the recruit deck, place them on top of the coven deck without looking at them. Ooh, interesting. Or the hidden effect, draw 1 card from the coven deck for each lily in play. She's worth 0 power regardless. Maybe I think we're going to play Eleanor for her revealed side. Draw top 2 cards from the recruit deck, place them on top of the coven deck without looking at them. 1 and 2. And then we're going to play Mercy also for the revealed side. For each lily, including Mercy in play, draw 1 card from the recruit deck, and then choose 1, shuffle the others back into the recruit deck. So we can either recruit Carol Sullivan, 2 base power, or 3 when revealed. Choose a witch from the jail pile to place it in the top of the coven deck. Ooh. Or Adelaide, move a face down conviction card on the juror to the bottom of the conviction deck and replace it with the face up from the top of the conviction discard pile. I don't have a discard of the conviction deck right now. Discard a face up conviction card on a juror, replace it with a face down from the top of the deck. I don't want it. I don't want Adelaide. I don't want Adelaide. I do want Carol. Okay. And then it says, oh, I place it in my hand. Ooh. Okay, so I get Carol right now. Okay. All right. So we're at 1 power right now. Okay, so we've got Carol, who can let me pull somebody back from jail. I'm tempted to just do that. Jocelyn was pretty cool. She lets me review all challenges when I discard her. So I'm going to play Carol for her revealed side. And I'm going to bring Jocelyn back into my deck. It is the top of the deck. So I'm going to draw her next. So now I'm at 4 power. Okay, for each haze, I don't have a haze. Move 1 or 2 face-up challenges. No face-up challenges right now. +1 power for each curse in the curse pile. There's only 1 curse in the curse pile, so that's a +1 for Catherine. For each Kent, including Catherine in play, discard 1 curse from your hand. Okay, well, let's play her for her hidden side. Get rid of my curse, hopefully. Then draw a card. Well, we know it's not hopefully because we know the top deck is a witch. And we have Jocelyn, which lets us uncover all the challenges at a mission, which we will do right now, but I don't know which one. I want to make sure you guys can see everything. Great. Okay, choose a mission for each haze. Okay, move 1 or 2 face-up challenges from one mission to another. Interesting. So, we're going to game this. We're going to play Jocelyn first on her revealed side, which lets us choose a mission and go expose all face-up stuff on that mission. I think I kind of want to do the easy one. I don't have a ton of energy here, or power. I've got 6 on this side and 1 over there. I only have 7. I'm going to have a total of 9. So we're going to go and do this nice, easy mission over here and see if we can't buff Martha's persuasion just a little bit more. Maybe we get lucky with her cards and we convince her. I like it. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to use Jocelyn's revealed ability to look at all of these challenges. We have cursed chickens. We have lost soldiers, and we have possessed. Lost Soldiers is a failure event. Cursed Chickens is a failure event. And there is a success or failure events on Possessed. If I succeed, I get to uncover one of Hackett's conviction cards. If I fail, I decrease Hackett's conviction by 1. I am ignoring Hackett. I don't think I'm going to successfully persuade all 3 of them. So I might just choose to fail this card. That would leave me with 4 plus 5 is 9 points of power needed. I have 6 on this side, 7 over there. I'm going to gain 2 when I play Gwen in a minute. So I'm in good shape. In fact, I'm in such good shape that, let's see, I have 9. What did I say? 9 plus 6, 7. Ooh, I'm not going to have quite enough, am I? I have to play her for reveal side for power. Yeah. That's all right. That's right. This is probably my last mission of the game. So we're going to play her, even though I don't need to do this. Move 1 or 2 face-up challenges from one mission to another mission with fewer than 8 challenges. So we're going to move this possessed that we don't care about. We're going to move it away. We'll just put it over here under this Martha challenge there. So this one now has 6 cards, but it won't matter. Okay, so now on this side I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 power total on from both sides. I have 9 power total, and I need. Is that enough? Well, maybe we don't. No. Here's what we do. We don't move possessed when we do that. We move this lost soldier, and then we intentionally tank the possessed. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot better. So here's where we are. We've got 4 power requirement there, plus 4 power requirement for the mission itself. We have a total of 9 power at our disposal. So we take care of the chickens, no problem there, and there's no success event, so we just get rid of it. We succeed in taking care of the possessed, which uncovers one of Hackett's conviction cards. And if we go look at Hackett, his conviction card is this one, and it's a 2. So that's not terrible. He's at 4 right now. So I don't know, maybe we'll persuade him if we got lucky with the other card. I doubt it, but maybe. So that takes care of him. And then that leaves the mission. And that is 4. And so we ignore the failure. And it's easy enough. We just gain 2 on Martha. So on Martha, we go from 6 to 8. Okay. So we have overcome the mission. We have no aftermath because we successfully. Now comes the question. You must now decide if you want to continue taking on missions or go to trial. There's only 2 missions left. One of them is going to be an act. No, they're both going to be act 3s. I have a lot of curse cards, and I just discarded 5 witches into jail. That has dramatically reduced my ability to take on more challenges. We are going to trial. If you choose to continue taking on missions, move on to the next phase. If you go to trial, go to page 15. 15. The game can end in many ways. You can fail 2 missions. We did not fail 2 missions. The total number of villages on cards in the Lost Souls pile is 5 or greater. It's only 1. We're good there. You are told to gain a curse when the curse pile is empty. There's still 1 curse card left, but we're not far away from that one. But we're still not there. You drew a new hand with no witches during phase 6. We never got to phase 6 because I'm going to trial before phase 6. A card effect tells you that you have lost. We have avoided all of that. We probably screwed up, actually. I think we did screw up. Is there enough here to retcon? Yeah, there is. I think I'm okay to retcon. We're going to retcon. Hold on. We're going to back off the 2 that we just gained from Martha. Now we're back to 6. We're going to put this mission back out. We're going to take all of the witches that we just sacrificed. And was that also Eleanor? It was Eleanor. Okay. Yeah. Because that was a total of 6, right? Oh, well, hold on. Hold on. I want to make sure I don't pull too many people back. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And then the curse is still there. Right. Okay. All right. Well, here's the problem. We screwed up because, let me just quickly pull back here. Yeah. We screwed up because I'm going to leave them exposed even though I shouldn't actually see them because at this point it's too late. Because we had to take on this mission or we fail or we lose the game. This soldier is still over here. Yeah. I think that means this witch is actually not here. Yeah, that's right. It was like this. Yeah. So instead, we have these 5 and this. We have these cards. Those are still the case. All of my recruiting and stuff I kept because I would have done that anyway with the cards that I had. We know that we played them like this. So we still have the same exposure. Hold on. Yeah, we played that like this. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay. All right. Okay, so what do we have over here? Well, we're going to tank this mission. We know we're going to tank this mission. There's no way we're going to get this mission done. We only had 9 power. And what are we going to do about it? We're going to move one of these to a different location because we can with the powers that we had.
What did he say?
So who do we want to lose? Oi, flip the conviction card from Hackett. You can't put the genie back in the bottle, but at least you can pretend. That's true. That's true. Good point. Right. Okay, so we're going to move one of these people. I kind of want to lose a random hidden witch. Lose a random hidden witch. We're only going to have one hidden witch. So I don't care about losing these 2. I don't mind losing her either. For what it's worth. So, and in fact, the Lost Soldiers is another. The only problem with the Lost Soldiers is they end up being on the top of the challenge deck, but I don't care about that. So, we can actually ignore all 3 of those. The ones that I really care about are the possessed because if I fail them, they decrease the persuasion on Ichabod or Martha. Both of them I actually want to keep high. I don't care about Hackett, but I do care about Martha and Ichabod. So I'm going to move one of them with these powers of my witches for this hand over here. And we're going to leave and defeat this possessed. So that'll be 7 and 2. And we're going to take, this is the only hidden witch, which is Catherine. So we're going to lose her. I don't know what losing a witch means. I think it means, is there a lost witch pile? There might be a lost witch pile. Let me look. If there is lost soul, no. How do you lose a witch? I don't know. What do you mean lose a witch? Well, I think I'm just going to mean it's no longer in play because it doesn't really matter for the purposes of this. I'll look it up later. So, Catherine Kent's no longer in play. We lost her. She's the only hidden witch we had this round. So all three of these are literally nothing else. These two soldiers, they go on the top of the challenge deck. So we're going to see them again. The wild boar just gets discarded. So that leaves us with this possessed for 2 and this mission for 7. We have 9 power. So that takes care of it. We actually completed it. And we succeeded, so we uncover one of Martha's conviction cards, which is the other conviction card. It is a 3. We're at 8. And this is a Martha Act 3 card. So we gain 5 persuasion. 6 plus 5 is 11, which means we will have persuaded Martha. We now know that because we know her total is 5, or 5 plus 3 is 8, and we have 11. So 11 is greater than 8. We will have persuaded her. We don't know about Ichabod yet. That could be bad. We'll see. But that wasn't a bad way to go. We had to deal with it. And maybe that was just our last mission instead. So that's what we did. And I wasn't expecting, I don't care that I know that Hackett's number is 2 because I'm not expecting to actually successfully convince him. And I don't think it's going to have any bearing on this game at all because we're going to trial. We just had to do that because I would have lost if I didn't, because I had to choose that mission and I did not do that. So, retcon complete. Right. Otherwise, the game ends in a trial. This happens if you choose to go to a trial, which we have done. To resolve the trial, consider each juror in the display one at a time. Right. Juror number 1. Uncover all conviction cards and total the values, then compare that total with the value indicated by the position of the persuasion marker on the juror's track. If the juror's conviction is less than or equal to, you have succeeded in convincing them. A total of 4. 2 and 5, 7. We did not convince Hackett. Not too surprising. Right. Martha, 8, 11. We have convinced Martha. Ichabod. Ichabod is currently at 8. It is 3. Oh boy. Oh boy. And 4. We convinced him. 7 is less than 8. We have a minor victory on our hands. Okay. We have convinced 2 jurors. We are not guilty. It is a draw. Your valiant efforts against the threats to the village convinced 2 of the jurors to reluctantly rule in your favor. The witches have been released from jail, but you are all still considered outcasts within the community. I will take outcast status. I don't mind a draw at all. Boy, that is a good little game. Okay, so here's the thing. One thing I didn't cover at the beginning of the game is that this is the sequel, spiritual successor, kind of partner to an earlier version of this game called Resist. And Resist is a kind of World War II resistance fighter game. I think it's French resistance, if I recall. And you're playing this same game where you have challenges that you're coming up against and that are set in World War II. And you're tasked with overcoming the challenges in order to then finish the mission. There's things about this that really plus up this game system as a functional thing, as a mechanics system. I think this, and I think I'm not alone in this opinion, near as I can tell. Everyone kind of agrees that this is the version of this system to play. I like the theme. I actually like both of the themes, but I like the theme of the other one just as well as I like this theme. But the system here is much better. The villager cards where you're losing souls, people going to jail that you can get back, you can get those back. Some of the mechanics on the cards themselves just work, and there's a lot more shucking and jiving that you can do. This whole like ending the game in a trial thing didn't exist in Resist. It was only there for the game ended when you completed all the missions, and if you didn't complete all the missions, you failed. This is a push your luck, go for as long as you can, get as much persuasion as you can, and then you decide when you have pushed your luck enough and you'll go to trial. Or if you finish all of the missions, then of course you end in a trial regardless, because I'm sure, let's take a look, I'm sure that one of these in Act 3 says you go to trial. Nope, it just means you're going to eventually end in a trial one way or the other, even if you finish all the missions. Increase the difficulty of other missions by 2. Oh, nasty. These are both not chosen, by the way, which means you if you don't choose them, these things happen. Lose a witch of your choice from your hand or hidden in play. That's not too bad, but still. Wow. So pushing your luck, and because the missions get progressively harder throughout the game, you're going from Act 1 cards to Act 2 cards and then into Act 3 cards, you're naturally pushed harder by the bad stuff that happens on these cards to make that decision and not go much further than that. Because let's not forget, the vast majority of these cards are curses now. Like, I guess I didn't do too bad, but like still, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 curses. Yeah, 5 curses there, and then there's 1 left over there, and maybe there's still some in the deck. But I probably could have continued to push my luck. Maybe another mission or 2. I didn't want to get into the Act 3 cards because I really didn't feel like I was going to have much of a chance of succeeding anymore. I really felt like I wasn't going to make it. And I didn't want to start losing missions and having all kinds of horrible things happen, because if I start losing all these challenge cards, then I start losing witch cards. I start gaining more curses. And if I have to take curse cards and there are none, I lose the game. So I only had 1 more curse card left. So I could have pushed it a little bit more, but if I gained more than 1 curse, the game was over. So I really felt like I think I did the right thing. I just pushed all my cards into revealed statuses, got all the power I could, moved some cards around as the powers let me do it, and got 1 last mission done. And it turned out to be necessary for Martha. So, this is great. This is great. And thematically, I think it feels really good as well. I'm constantly feeling this push-pull to persuade people to get stuff done, to stay hidden in the shadows and not reveal my coven to too many people. All of that thematic integration really plays here. Love it. Absolutely love it. If you ever get a chance to visit that memorial in Salem, Massachusetts, if you're in the United States, it doesn't look like much. It doesn't need to look like much. I do think it's very important. Those poor people were persecuted and stolen from, and it remains a blight on our history for good reason. So this game, I think, does a really good job bringing that to light and really reminding people of our past in this regard. It is necessary, but I also think it does a good job making itself a jovial, good time of a game to play during Halloween too. So it really strikes a really good balance. This has been Witchcraft. I think this has been a great success. I really enjoyed this game. And I dare I say, think that my performance issues on stream might be resolved for the time being. Fingers crossed. So thanks for tuning in. Next week is something very different, very special. We are going to be this. If I haven't mentioned this before, and I haven't had the little pop-ups on my stream for a little while to remind anyone, but the reality is everything I do, all of the streaming I do, is all a benefit. Every stream I do is a fundraising benefit for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Specifically, I'm supporting a hospital in Oregon right now, but really, honestly, it's just to help sick kids. And you'll notice every pinned post on all of my streams include a link to my fundraising campaign. Next week is the annual game day for Extra Life, which is the big fundraising network campaign event for the entire country. There is really a game week now to give people some flexibility, but our game day for me and my team, which is both NetGod and Shade, or Meta Knight Shade, if you follow Meta Knight Shade on Twitch. All three of us will be, in some cases, streaming together, playing games cooperatively, digitally. We're really playing I'm going to be playing a mix of video games, handheld console games, arcade games maybe, and board games throughout next weekend, basically, Saturday and Sunday. I'll be live most of the time. I might take a break here and there, but mostly live all that entire time. Try to do 12 hours a day for both days. We try to do a marathon, but we'll see if I can endure it physically. But I'll be playing an awful lot. You'll see me streaming live a lot next weekend, and it will be a mixed bag of video games and board games and arcade games and all kinds of stuff. So join us, donate if you're able, next week or now, whichever. It's a year-long campaign. Thanks to all of your subscriptions and bits and everything else, we've been able to raise a couple $100 already this year. So thank you. And we'll see you next weekend, starting probably around noonish, I'm guessing, on Saturday, maybe earlier. We'll see. And going all the way through the weekend for the big fundraising push. So tune in next week for something definitely completely different. And then we'll talk to you soon. All right. Take care, everybody.